As I just mentioned, wildfires are ravaging parts of California, with the largest burning around Ventura County. Hundreds of homes have already been lost there, and shifting winds mean unpredictable conditions for firefighters. Flames also endangered racehorses in San Diego County, killing some of them. Officials warn heavy winds and dry air could prolong conditions for weeks. And just hours after Senator Al Franken announced he was resigning amid sexual harassment allegations, Republican Rep. Trent Franks of Arizona says he's also leaving his job next month after an ethics investigation was opened against him. CBS's Hannah Doba has the latest.
I'll let the statement speak for itself. Okay.
In that statement, Arizona Congressman Trent Franks announced he will resign January 31st. The move comes after House ethics officials began investigating him for asking if two of his female staffers would bear his child as a surrogate. In a statement, the Republican lawmaker admitted the surrogate discussions made the two female staffers uncomfortable, but added, "I have absolutely never physically intimidated, coerced, or had or attempted to have any sexual contact with any member of my congressional staff." The 8-term congressman also disclosed that he and his wife have long struggled with infertility. "We experienced 3 miscarriages."
Senator from Minnesota.
Frank's resignation came on the same day Democratic Senator Al Franken reluctantly resigned from his job, bowing to allegations of sexual misconduct from several women. The Minnesota Democrat fired a defiant parting shot at President Donald Trump.
I am leaving while a man who has bragged on tape about his history of sexual assault sits in the Oval Office.
It was time. It was time for him to resign. There were many allegations against him. It was a drawn-out conversation. And if we want to hold elected officials, we want to hold people in power accountable for sexual assault, we have to do it regardless of party affiliation.
Minnesota Governor Mark Dayton says he will announce Franken's temporary replacement in the next few weeks. Hannah Doba, CBS News.
Franken served as senator for 8 years. The ethics investigation into Representative Franks was dropped after he said he would resign. Closer to home, a Busby man could spend the rest of his life in prison after a jury found him guilty of first-degree murder and the strangulation and burning death of Royland Wright's horse. It took a federal jury less than 2 hours to reach a guilty verdict against 20-year-old DeMarzio Sanchez. That guilty verdict was delivered after 3 days of testimony. Jurors could have convicted Sanchez of second-degree murder, which does not require the intent to kill. But the jury determined Sanchez strangled and burned Wright's horse, knowing it would end her life. Each of the 5 people in the vehicle with the victim that night give a different version of the story, making it difficult to sort out the facts. But we do know Wright's horse got into the vehicle with her 3 assailants at the Kirby Saloon, and later that night she suffered a brutal assault. Jurors believe it was Sanchez who doused the victim in gasoline and set her on fire. Defense attorneys pointed the finger at his co-defendants, Frank Sanchez and Angelica Whiteman, who have already admitted their roles in the murder. After the jury delivered its guilty verdict on Thursday, the victim's family hugged the lead investigator. The victim's sister tells us her death is a loss not only to her family, but to those who never had the chance to meet her.
Royland was sweet. Royland was innocent. Royland was a mother. Royland was a daughter. She was a sister. And she was a caregiver. She loved everyone. She didn't have an enemy. She was the most beautiful person you could ever know. She had such natural beauty. And today we just rejoice with her. You know, we know that she's in the heavenly realms with our Father, and we rejoice with her that justice was served today.
And sentencing for Sanchez is set for March. On to Crime Watch. One of the 2 suspects who led police on a chase through 2 western Montana counties while firing a gun at pursuing officers now faces attempted murder charges. The chase began in Missoula late Wednesday morning when police attempted a traffic stop. The suspects fled north to St. Ignatius, where one of the suspects fired shots at law enforcement. 34-year-old Alta Little Light Three Fingers of Crow Agency, who was driving the car, faces charges of criminal endangerment and assault with a weapon. weapon. The passenger, 27-year-old Rochelle St. Denis of Missoula, is charged with attempted deliberate homicide in addition to assault with a weapon. No one was injured in the shootout, which eventually ended with both women surrendering. St. Denis and Little Light Three Fingers are currently being held in the Lake County Jail while the investigation continues. The car involved in the pursuit was reportedly stolen in Billings back on November 14th. Elsewhere, it's almost the day Foo Fighters fans have been waiting for. The band will take over the Rimrock Auto Arena at Metro Park on Saturday. There will be extra work going on behind the scenes as the band's promoter requested upgraded security. Metro Park security has used wands to scan people at events, but for this concert, walk-through scanners will be used in the lobby before fans enter the Rimrock Auto Arena. The Foo Fighters will arrive Saturday with 17 semis and 15 buses. Metro Park General Manager Bill Dutcher says no scanners were available to rent or borrow, so Yellowstone County Commissioners quickly approved spending $50,000 for 12 devices. Dutcher says without the machines, the Foo Fighters would not be playing in Billings.
It's a big show, and they obviously aren't taking it lightly. We feel, as the commissioners did, it was a very good investment. It's not the last time that will be required in this stage of security nationwide with different things going on. And now Yellowstone County, Rimrock Auto Arena, we own those at Metro Park.
Cameras, recording devices, weapons, bottles or containers, projectiles, and laser pointers will not be allowed at the concert. Parking will be the same as what was used for the Garth Brooks concerts. The Foo Fighters had one date available, and in order for Metro Park management to make it happen, the last day of the All-American Indian Shootout was moved to Rocky. And speaking of, we have a full-fledged Hoop Fest underway at Rimrock Auto Arena, and they won't even think about slowing it down until Saturday night. Here's a look at some of Thursday's action from the All-American Indian Shootout. Quite a few Montana high school teams are converging on it. 5 years ago, it was just an 8-team tournament. Now it's blown up to more basketball. It draws in more basketball players, but the elders want to send them home with some more.
Our elders like to see the young succeed, and when they succeed, we want them to enjoy that quality life, to go to college, earn a degree, get a scholarship, get a good job, make a good living, become good citizens. That's what it's all about.
It is possible to have something like this, not just the bigger schools and not just the bigger city schools or bigger towns. We can have the same things they can. It's fun. You go to any reservation. Basketball is almost a lifestyle, So it just adds to the atmosphere that we're all here playing, hustling, getting baskets. It's fun to see.
The epiphany of basketball is what we've been doing. So we brought these basketball teams together to play that style of basketball, and at the end of the tournament, everybody has fun, but at the same time, we give all the proceeds back to the schools. As an organization, we don't make nothing.
And they will run again all day today, then shift on to Rocky on Saturday. Boys Championship is at 5:30 and the girls play theirs at 7. Well, before we take a break, weather and markets are still the two most important things to farmers and ranchers. And this week, wheat growers heard the market outlook for 2018 at a special grower event. With more on what wheat farmers can expect, here's Russell Nimitz.
So it's kind of a mixture on the one hand here. It looks like we're in such deep trouble. But there are qualifiers that can bring us to life sooner than you'd think.
Mike Kruger was one of the speakers at this week's Wheat U event in Spokane, Washington, where he explained to farmers that one of the reasons for today's low prices is a glut of wheat around the world, with one country in particular grabbing his attention.
Almost half of it's going to end up isolated in China, and it used to be more like 25 or 30%. So the amount of wheat that's available in the world is actually quite a bit smaller.
Now this summer, wheat growers did see a rare price rally during harvest.
It looked like we're going to bring world supplies down pretty good. There wasn't room for weather threats. We're having trouble in Kansas and the markets. You'd think half the planet was in Kansas when they have bad weather. So he had some things building.
But the rally didn't last that long, and wheat prices have since settled back to where they're at right now, with not much change expected in the near term.
Well, today I'll use Chicago March as the main measure. It should have pretty good support at 425, unless the funds want to set a new record going short. Don't think they were going to do that. That's trying to hold. A lot of resistance, just 20-25 cents higher without some pretty significant news.
Well, as 2017 begins to wind down, one thing is for certain, it has been a roller coaster ride this year for the U.S. wheat markets. But one thing is for certain, and not just for wheat growers here in the Pacific Northwest, but for those growers back at home, a New Year's resolution for the entire U.S. wheat industry will be higher markets in 2018. Reporting from the Wheat U event here in Spokane, Washington, I'm Russell Nemitz, MTN News.
And Russell also tells us in order to get a grasp on how important the wheat industry is to Montana, according to the Montana Ag Statistics Service, Montana farmers planted over 5 million acres of wheat this past year with a value of nearly $1 billion to our state's economy.